started conversations in small ways. For example, I utilise my personal acknowledgement as a demonstration and commitment to others of my own journey, and I really hope that gives them permission to do the same thing. I'm naturally an administrator, so I'm guessing that change I make for our community will be in the area of policy and process and perhaps governance. I'm not a natural activist, so I'll need to develop that part in me.
Community ripples. We began treaty discussions between Aboriginal people and non-Aboriginal people, and Rekha creating neutral spaces, I guess, to build trust and address fears of loss and fostering. It's been a collaborative process. As we've expanded our minds and learnt more.
So what impact has this journey had on me? A strong belief that I can make a difference. I've also gained clarity on how to make a difference. In my role in education, I aim to lead processes to intensify how we celebrate Indigenous culture with both adults and children. I strive to create an inclusive environment where racist behaviours are called out and take the time to listen to Indigenous voices within my sphere of influence. Above all, I seek opportunities to learn about, share, celebrate and amplify Indigenous culture, making it a vibrant part of our shared experience. I'm looking forward to the next chapter with my new understandings, and I'm truly hopeful of the impact I can make.
Probably one that's been the most meaningful for me was the conversation I had with my son in the car, where he told me that he had volunteered to be part of the team at his school at Marriotteville that are leading people through the new Ghana Walk area that's been created. And we had this conversation about it, about how they were trying to prioritise the Aboriginal students to do this, but they didn't have enough. And so he'd volunteered because he wanted to learn more about culture, and we talked about this term allyship, and he shared with me that because I'd been talking about it and my experience with the GLF, that he had stepped forward to do this, which I feel, quite emotional about, where you see those ripples with within your own family.
But I'd also just like to share an example about our community football and our Indigenous rounds, and how much it has changed from one year to the next, because I felt more informed. So the first year we did a round and we had Uncle Moogie do the smoking ceremony, and I didn't do a good enough job of involving the Aboriginal players in the Indigenous round and letting them speak. I should have empowered them to own the day, even though they were like under 16-year-old kids. I didn't give them the opportunity. And that was like a mistake. And if I think about the Indigenous round that we've been involved with, community sport with women's football this year, and how remarkable that was, and all we did was give them the space, give the Aboriginal players and the Aboriginal community members the space to actually create their own Indigenous round, create Guernsey, create storytelling. They created artwork. They told their stories, and it wasn't nothing to do with me. And so that seems shameful to admit that, but the change in understanding what amazing things can come out when you give people the space to actually celebrate their own culture and just actually walk alongside of them.
They say change starts at home, with the conversations with your partner and, most importantly, your children. You know, one example, my eldest was reflecting on her teacher who was struggling with some of the Aboriginal studies content. After a brief conversation in the car about some of the massacres, my eldest paused and then said, "Dad, maybe you should come and teach us." You know, I had a great opportunity to perform an acknowledgement of country at an event that I emceed. You know, I took the opportunity to explain what Nina Mani means and Mani Ai. And in the context of reconciliation, I spoke of the Ghana land as being the land of the red kangaroo, and that the red kangaroo only moves forward. You know, most of all has been the change in my own mindset and understanding. That anchor of truth that when mainstream media or public opinion pulls to divide us, you know, I can reflect back on everything I've learned through the GLF and the CAP project. And I can rebalance to the hope that we may all walk together towards a better future.